Good morning and welcome to the first ever episode of Resetting Your Compass. This is about one man's dream of getting to the South Pole in world record time and how he's going to do it. You're coming on the journey right from the start or very close to the start of when all the training, everything happens. He hasn't a clue how he's going to get there yet, but he will get there and fingers crossed he'll do it in world record time. That's myself. So what are you going to expect in this video? Well, this video is all about this week's training. It just shows a typical week of my training. I go through every single day, all the different things I do. Really, really informative. Have a good watch. Subscribe and do come back again and watch some further episodes. And on that score, next week, because we're releasing these weekly, next week is all about the downs that I've had since I've got to this point. So you have the ups and you have the downs, and I'm going to be going through some of the setbacks that have happened. We had a bad one yesterday, a really bad setback yesterday that's pushed things back a little bit. We're just going to show how we're going to get over that setback. This will happen naturally, so come along and watch. It's about 20 odd minutes long, give or take, all in all. Most of them were around 15 minutes. It's a little bit longer this time, purely because I'm just experimenting how I'm videoing this. And on that score, I apologise. I've managed to put it in portrait rather than landscape. So for future episodes, they will be in landscape, but really sorry about that. I'm still trying and still learning all about this YouTube. Hope you enjoy it. Do subscribe, send other people along as well. Catch you soon. Good morning all. Well, this is the start of 7 days training for the South Pole. First day is golf. Sounds really strange, this does. As you see here, we've got the golf. Golf is actually a really good exercise. As part of the exercise regime I'm doing, I'm not just doing the exercise that are needed for the pole, I'm also doing extra exercise that I really enjoy on top of as well. Golf's a cracking exercise. It gives you a lot of walking, a lot of bending, twisting, etc. It is really, really good. But we're here on what is the day today? It's Friday morning, just gone 9 o'clock, and we're here. We'll be out here till about 2 or 3 o'clock, and then move on to pulling the tyres after that when I get home. So this is just the typical weeks, showing you exactly what we do for training for the South Pole. So I can't take the phone on the course, sadly, because that's against the etiquette. But yeah, 18 holes today, first set. Hi folks, this is second part of the first day's training. We're out today doing a tyre pull. You can see there behind me, this little orange flag's on to make sure cars can see it. It sits about, it will take about 4 metres behind me, 5 metres behind me, something like that. The reason it's so far behind is because it's connected by rope from the bottom of the rucksack to the tyres. And in so doing, the tyres can remain pretty flat on the floor, so far easier to pull. In the early days, I had a car tyre which bobbled about far too much. Now I have a van tyre, a lot bigger, but because it's extra weight, it means it stays on the floor. It's much easier to control. I also have, you can see here, my poles as well. So these act very similar to Nordic walking, where you're walking at the same time with your poles. Now, poles are brilliant to walk with, but especially with tyres, because they simulate what will happen when I'm when I'm skiing to the North Pole. So obviously I'll be skiing with poles, have a sledge behind me, which is simulated by the tyre, and that's the whole idea of the tyre pull. Now, with a tyre pull, people think it comes through your shoulders. It doesn't. It's all from your waist. So the rope's tied to the bottom of the rucksack, which is then clipped around your waist. So when you're pulling all with your waist, because that's where the big muscles are. On the bottom of your legs, you've got your glutes and things like that. They're the ones doing all the work. If your shoulders start doing it, you come over, and yeah, you're fine. You'll find you can start pulling a lot of back muscles, a lot of shoulder muscles. Very soon, it's not going to work. So that is what a tyre pull is. It is simply to simulate pulling the pulk, which is the sledge, all the way to South Pole. And the poles are there to help you along in the same way when you're skiing, because you have skis on, you actually use the poles to push yourself along at the same time. It's really, really good exercise. If you ever want to lose a few calories, seriously, get yourself a tyre, because you'll realise it's very, very hard work. Okay folks, so day 2 is a ski machine. As you can see here, this is a ski machine. It was built in the 70s, absolutely brilliant, but very, very hard to use. It's actually taken me several weeks originally to actually balance on this and get it correct. At the bottom here, you've got what simulates the skis, these little planks of wood, and literally they just are planks of wood. That's literally all they are, and they're on rollers, and they go back and forward, as you can see there, as you put your feet in them. Now these feet brackets, you're not connected to these feet brackets in any way. They're there just to make sure your feet are in the right place. So that basically helps because it means you're standing in the right place, but it also means you're not using them to pull the boards back and you're using your actual muscles to do it. In the middle there, you'll see a huge, great big wheel. This is the resistance wheel, and this is what's really causes the friction for these skis to go back and forward. So the more friction it is, the harder it is. It's presently set at, give or take, I think it's about 4 out of 9. So it's just under halfway at the moment is where I am, and that'll be going up to 9 in the next sort of 6 months. In the middle there, you'll see a black, I don't know what you call it, cushion. I'll explain what that's for in a second. But moving further up the equipment, you will see a pulley at the top here. Now this is all resistance as well. This is the resistance it up, and these basically simulate the little ropes, and they simulate using the poles if you were skiing. Pull down on one, the other one goes up, pull down the other, goes up again, up and down, up and down. And because of the resistance at the top, you can set it as hard as you want. It's actually set pretty hard at the moment, but you can increase that because if you're pulling down on one arm, it's going up on the other. So if you pull down on both at the same time, you can increase the resistance yourself. There's a lovely little clock here, but I rarely use it apart from for time. I'm not interested in how many calories it's burning or anything of that sort of type. Just coming around the ladder a second, you see it's a very salubrious gym we've got here. It literally is all the boxes of the houses in here. I'm going to turn the camera around a second, so I'll just stop that. So now we're actually on the ski machine. You'll see that this black cushion is somewhere, give or take, around my hips area. And that just simulates making sure the body's pushing through the right area. You don't want to be too far forward, you don't want to be too far back, you want to be smack bang in the middle. I'll quickly bring another video in the middle of this second to show me actually on the machine and how it exactly works, but I'll be doing it about an hour and 15 today on this. So overall that would be yesterday's walk with the tyre, the golf yesterday, and now obviously the ski machine. And then tonight we'll actually do some dancing as well. Well, good morning folks. So it's, as I say, day 3. We're out and about today. It's the long walk today. Got a couple of days of long walking. Do about 17.5 miles, just get the feet moving again and make sure it's getting used to longer distances. I've decided to change the long walk slightly though, because I want to do about 7 miles with the tyres, which are behind me now, get back, drop them back at home, and then do another 10.5 as well on top of that. My wife's going to join me today, which is really nice for the 10.5, so that's really, really nice. But we're going to be out and about all day long, 17.5 miles, just so the feet get used to doing longer distances and the muscles and everything else. So that's day 3. Just forgot to take the video recorder last night, by the way. We did a good 2 hours dancing last night, Latin and ballroom dancing as well. So that's really, really good for you. Stretches the muscles, uses different muscles. Very good for your core muscles as well and your coordination. So people do wonder why I incorporate the dancing as part of the programme, but it's very good for you. So as I say, we'll do a bit more recording later on when I'm actually walking, and I crack on with the 7 miles now with the tyre. Really nice day, awesome. Cheers guys. Okay folks, we're on the second half of day 3. So in the morning we've done 7 miles dragging the tyre, and now we're out on a 10.5 mile walk. We're about 5 miles into it, which is pretty good. Jane's with me today. Look, say hello, Jane. Hello. Jane's with me today, so we're out and about. Lovely weather, as you can see. And I say this walk is specifically just to get the miles under the legs, because if I'm going to be walking 20-25 miles a day, I need to do a lot more of these 17-mile walks to make it happen. So come back to you tomorrow, but today's pretty good. So overall, 17.5 miles, of which 7 of them were with the tyre and 10.5 without. Catch you all tomorrow. We're out and about, got the sun behind us, so let me try and get the camera right. Day 4, we've already been dancing this morning for 45 minutes, it's been really good. That gives different muscle groups in your brain in different ways working. And now we're out on one of the long walks. So it's a 17.5-mile walk. I'm going a little bit quicker today, and I just want to pace a little bit because I've been walking at around 3.5 miles an hour, and I want to get that up probably towards 4 if I can, mainly because I want to get further distances in a similar sort of time. So for example, if I'm out for 5 hours today at 3.5 miles an hour, that's 17.5 miles. So I can do that 4 miles, and actually that'll be up to 20 miles. So 4 miles an hour, sorry, it'll be up to 20 miles. Two things I'm doing. One is this increased speed. The second one is I'm now bringing in a little bit more of my theory of what I need to be doing for these longer walks and how that translates into Jan de Groot to Land's End and also the South Pole. Because if you think about it, on the South Pole, if I'm walking for 10, 16 hours a day, somewhere in that range, I'm going to have to take a lot of food and a lot of water in that period. Same with Jan de Groot to Land's End. I'm going to be walking for probably 10 hours a day, 11 hours a day, somewhere around there. I'm going to have to take a lot of food and water. Now I could do that in the traditional sense. You wake up, you have breakfast, you walk for, 5 hours, you have lunch, you walk for another 5 hours. The problem there is your body is using a lot of energy while you're walking. So I'm going to break this down now into slots of approximately 54 minutes to 16 minutes. And then have a quick stop, a very quick bite to eat, a very quick drink. Again, an hour later, do the same again, same again, same again. That way my body temperature, because I'm moving a lot, should remain pretty constant. I shouldn't be getting cold when I stop, and I should be able to regulate my temperature. But on top of that, the more important bit, I should be able to regulate my actual intake of food and what my body needs. It seems weird, and this is a really weird one, as to why you think 54 minutes. This came about because you need to think of different things when you're out and about. When you're on your own walking, or when you're training, you need to engage your brain somehow. Now I'm able to do this because I play a lot of golf. I love golf. I have split the 18 holes into 3 minutes. And it may sound stupid, but I visualise myself going around the golf course and each hole taking approximately 3 minutes. That way, if I'm on hole 5, I know exactly how far I've got for the rest of the day to go in that section. Sounds weird, but it works for me. Some people put music on, some people do other different things. I'll have a little bit of music here and there. My brain tends to wander very nicely into doing something else. So, I'll be stopping in about 20 minutes or so, and a quick update there, but let's crack on with this 17.5 miler today. Awesome, eh? Okay, so we've done a quick stop, as I said. Got my sarnies here, so I've got split up into 4, so I literally got a quarter of sarnie, and that literally is all we'll have. And then 250 ml of water, that's about a quarter of a litre of water. Stop for anything up to about 2 or 3 minutes, for about 3 minutes, and then crack on again. So that's exactly what it's all about, folks. It's all about just having a quick rest, getting the fuel back on board, and then tracking from there. Just coming to the end of the 17.5 mile walk. Just to let you know, the idea of stopping every hour or so for a very quick 1 or 2 minutes quick drink and a small amount of food is a really good idea. Made a massive difference to the walk, keep a lot quicker pace going. Yeah, really good. Anyway, here's to tomorrow. Catch up then. Day 5, folks. Well, day 5, here we go. As you can see, we're on the ski machine. Now, you'll notice my legs are going back and forth, simulating skis. And this works just about every muscle you can imagine on your legs. All your glutes at the back, your front, you name it. It really is a good workout. Second of these little, we call them rope really, that are connected further up. And these are simulating the poles as you're going along, you're pushing the poles, you're doing the skis at alternatives. You'll notice one comes back, one goes forward, exactly opposite times. This little thing at the front is just purely a pad to make sure your hips stay over in the correct place. And here we go, we're away. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. I'll do this give or take about an hour 15. Naturally, as I get closer to the actual pole attempt itself, I'll be doing way more hours on this, 7 or 8 hours a day. But at the moment, it's just great exercise. You can probably hear me just slightly out of breath now, to be honest. I've just started, just warming up, and it'll take me a few minutes just to get it working correctly with yourself. You notice my top body's relatively stable. When I'm doing this, I transfer my weight. 1, 2, 1, 2. I'm exaggerating a little bit. Foot to foot. So when you've got weight on one foot, you haven't got it on the other. So therefore it gives you time to bring the ski forward. One goes backwards, forward, backwards, forward, backwards, forward. And that's how you Nordic ski. Simple as that. It's great exercise. If you ever want to get fit, seriously, get yourself one of these. They're called Nordic track ski machines. They're built in the 70s. Don't get the new ones. They're not half as good. The old ones really did give you a full body workout. The only minor problem is it'll take you about 3 weeks just so you can get used to it, so you can balance on it and use the arms at the same time. That's the only bit you've got to go through. But after that, it's absolutely awesome. So this morning, what else have we done? Been to the physio already this morning. As you're probably aware, I've got gluten tendinopathy. Basically, your tendons that are way at the back here, back of your tendons right at the top there, they're pretty sore. Basically being overused, simple as that. So we're getting quite a lot of treatment on those to make sure we can carry on training. To be honest with you, the training itself isn't affecting it, so we are going to crack on. This afternoon, got a game of golf. Try and play golf 2 or 3 times a week as part of the training, because it does different muscles, it bends, gives twisting and everything else. But before I go to play golf, as you can see, I'm on the ski machine. Absolutely brilliant. You can speed it up, slow it down. I tend to go around this pace most of the time when I'm training. Very good. Anyway, that's day 5. Let's see what day 6 holds. And finally, day 7, I get a rest. Hope that helps. See you soon, guys. Okay, day 5 still. We got the old 18 holes of golf now. There's the good old golf clubs. It's a great way of training, as I say, because you get about 4 hours out on the course. A lot of swinging of the clubs, so twisting the muscles. It's really good exercise. So that's why I do it, to be honest with you. And if I can keep this going, it'd be great. But during winter, I'll probably have to drop one of these because of the time it takes to do all the tyre pulls and walking. Really good. Really enjoyable. Cracking day, isn't it? Look at that, eh? What a cracking day. Absolutely gorgeous out there. So let's go and enjoy it, and we'll come back tomorrow with day 6, which should be probably going to drop golf tomorrow because of the weather by the looks of it. So it will be probably a 9-mile tyre pull tomorrow. Been awesome, and catch you all tomorrow. Morning all. Start of day 6. This is the last sort of day within the week that I train. I have a day off tomorrow, which is lovely. Day 6 is always a tiring day. You feel it in the legs and everything else. You know, after 5 days hard work. Very lucky, managed to get back to the golf club today because it's not raining. So we'll get a game of golf in, which is really good. And then after the golf, we'll do, hopefully, depending on timings today, but fingers crossed, go for a 9-mile tyre walk this afternoon as well. And that will complete the whole week. I'll do a run up at the end after I've done that bit. But yeah, absolutely cracking. Down at the golf club again for the day 6. Catch you all later. Okay folks, so it's the 6th day, the last part of the 6th day. We did golf this morning, round of golf, and this afternoon we've been pulling the good old tyre. Yep, done about 8 miles, got another mile to go. So that is the end of the 6 days. We have 7th day off, which is absolutely gorgeous, believe me. I love the 7th day off. But hopefully that's given you a great idea of what training is so far for the South Pole. Pretty intense. Takes a lot of hours. I'll do a quick recap in a few minutes, guys and girls. But I hope you enjoyed that. We're just on, the final sort of section now, 1 mile to go. It's been a cracking week. Great to have you along as well.